All right, shalom, all praise due to the Creator. I'm Yahoo. Today I'm gonna go over some precepts because I've watched some of these videos over here. As you can see right now, I'm dealing with the subject matter, the topic of interracial marriage, and this is IUIC, Israel United in Christ. And I've watched a lot of these videos, and they're using or utilizing certain verses to trying to justify their lies, being the fact that they're false prophets, but to trying to justify their lies on how it's a sin to marry non-Israelite women or the woman of the other nation. Now, I already did a video. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go on my page right now real quick. Right here. All right, so I already did a video over here in regards of Deuteronomy 7 and 3. I already broke it down, man. So if you want to check it out, you go right ahead and do it. But this time, I'm going to deal with all the other aspects of the scriptures that IUIC, and as well as all the rest of these other camps that come out of School of Thought of One West are trying to utilize to say that we're not supposed to marry, we cannot marry the women of the other nations. And one of the first precepts I'd like to go into is Ezra 9 and 1. And it says, when these matters were concluded, the officers approached me, saying, the people of Israel, the Kohanim, which is among the priests, and the Levites, have not kept themselves apart from the people of the lands, doing like the abominations of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Jebusite, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorite. For they have taken their daughters in marriage for themselves and for their sons, and the sacred offspring of Israel have what? Intermingled with the people of the land, and the hand of the officers and the chiefs has been foremost in this transgressions. So they're trying to turn around and say, you see, based upon those two verses, it clearly states on how you're not supposed to marry the woman of the other nations, because if you do so, then you commit a sin. But here's where they seems to forget the analysis of verse 1. Over here it says, the doing like the abominations of the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites. So let's deal with the doing of their abominations. And we're going to find out if the doing of their abominations represented their skin color or if it represented their nationality, so to speak. I'm going to go to the book of Ezekiel. I'm going to go to the book of Ezekiel 18. And 12. All right. Let's see. Ezekiel 18 and 12. And it says, I'm starting at verse 11. Who does not do all of these good deeds? For he even partakes of what? Of idolatrous sacrifices upon the mountains, defiles the neighbor's wives, oppresses the poor and the needy, robs loot, does not return collateral, lifts his eyes towards the idols, commits abomination. So the abomination spoken about in the book of Ezra 9 and 1 was dealing with idolatry. So the sin that our forefathers were committing at that particular time is because they were dealing with pagan, idolatrous, Gentile women who were sinners. They was worshiping false idols, false deities, and false gods. So therefore, they seduced our people at that particular time into worshiping after their idols. That was the sin that they committed. If those particular Gentile women would have repented and kept the oracles of the Creator, and kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Torah, then none of those heinous acts about them following after other idols and deities would have never occurred, happen, or take place. The issue that the Creator had with us is when we started dealing with these Gentile women, proselyte or strange women who did not forsake the gods or the idols of their nations. It had absolutely nothing to do with the color of their skin or their nationality, the fact that they were non-Israelite. You see? So when you read Ezekiel 18 and 12, the abomination is dealing with the worshiping of false deities and false idols. So I'm going to go to another precept. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy. Let's see. Deuteronomy 12. Let's see. All right. 12 and 31. And it says, you shall not do so to Yahweh your power, for everything that is an abomination of Yahweh that he hates have they done to their gods. That's idolatry again. For even their sons and their daughters have they burned in a fire for their gods. You see? All of these different all of the analysis that you read about in Ezra 9 and 1 is speaking about idolatry. That's why when you also, matter of fact, when you read verse 29, it says, when Yahweh your power will cut down the nations in which you come to take possession from them before you, and you would take possession from them and settle in their land. Beware for yourself, lest thou be attracted after them, after they have destroyed before you, unless you seek out their gods. That's still dealing with idolatry again, saying, how did these nations worship their gods? And even will I do the same. When you shall do so to Yahweh your power, for everything that is an abomination of Yahweh that he hates, have they done to what? To their gods. For even their sons and their daughters have they burned in the fire of their gods. All right, so I'm gonna go to another verse that IUIC, and as well as all the rest of these other camps are trying to utilize to further push this lie. I'm gonna go to Ezra 10 and 1. This is Ezra 10 and 1. And it says, as Ezra prayed, as he confessed, weeping and prostrating himself before the temple of God, there gathered near an exceedingly large congregation from Israel, men, women, and children, for the people wept profusely. Then Shemaiah, the son of Jehiel, the son of Elam, spoke up and said to Ezra, we have transgressed against our God, and have taken an alien or strange woman of the people, or foreign woman of the peoples of the land. But now there is a hope for Israel concerning this. So now it says that at that particular time, the priests, the Levites, and all the Israelite men took upon themselves strange woman, or alien woman, or foreign woman. Well, we're going to show you, according to the scriptures, what that means, and why the scriptures also refer to them as being alien or strange. There was something alien or strange about them, and we're going to find out right now. I'm going to go to the book of Deuteronomy. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes right now. Deuteronomy 32. Actually, no, not Deuteronomy. I'm in the wrong verse. I'm going to look at the book of Joshua. All right. Okay. Joshua 24. I'm going to start around verse, let's see, 20. And it says, if you forsake Yahweh and serve gods of who? Of the foreign or the alien or the stranger, he will turn and act harshly toward you and destroy you after having done good with you. The people said to Joshua, no, we will serve only Yahweh. Joshua said to the people, you will bear witness upon yourself that you have chose Yahweh to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. For now remove the gods, again, he's dealing with false idols and false idolatry, of the foreigner that are among you, and direct your hearts to Yahweh, the God of Israel. So when you read about the strange woman, or the alien woman, or the foreign woman that you read about in Ezra 10 and 1 and 2, that was dealing with strange woman, alien woman, or foreign woman who were worshiping idols. They were also worshiping false gods, just like I also pointed out and showed all throughout the scriptures in my previous video in dealing with Deuteronomy 7 and 3. That was the beef or the issue or the problem that the Creator had against us. You see? Because truth be told, if an Israelite man is married to a Gentile woman, and they both in tune in the Creator, and they both following and keeping the Torah, and they both raising up their seeds or their children's in Torah, then there's no beef into that. There's no chance in hell that that Gentile woman or that strange woman will seduce him into following and worshiping after other gods when they both serving the Creator. You see? I'm going to go to another one. Let's see. I'm going to go to Malachi. All right. It says, Malachi 2 and 11, Judah have betrayed an abomination. Judah has betrayed, and an abomination has been done in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah had defiled the holy nation of Yahweh, which he loved. And it says, and has taken in marriage the daughter of what? Of a foreign god. That was the issue and the beef that the Creator had with us, because there are many other precepts all throughout the scriptures, which eventually I'm going to make a video about those precepts also, that can show you on how you had some of our forefathers who were married and dealt with other non-Israelite women who were never referred to as either strange woman, foreign woman, or alien woman. In other words, they became cleavers and they worshiped the God of Israel. It's that simple. I'm gonna go to another one. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Let's see. Is that Judges? I'm gonna go to the book of Judges. Let's see. Judges chapter 10. Let me see. Judges chapter 10 verse 16, and it says they removed, and again, foreign gods, the exact same Hebrew word. It means either strange, foreign, or alien, from their midst, and serve Yahweh. Then his spirit cannot tolerate the travail of Israel. So that was the beef and the sin that the Creator had, like I said, at that time, is the fact that those Gentile non-Israelite women that we dealt with were strangers. Another thing that's also not being brought out is, look, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for a lot of years. You got a lot of Israelites, black men, so-called black men, Negroes, who are in a relationship right now or in a marriage with Israelite women or so-called black women who don't even believe. They either don't believe in the scriptures, they don't believe in the Torah and our scrolls, or they're just unbelievers. In other words, they might believe in a quote-unquote Bible, but they don't accept their nationality as being Israel. They still breaking the dietary laws of the Most High. They eating pork, crabs, shrimp, lobsters. They're celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all the pagan holidays of this society. They're in current relationships or marriages with black women who don't even believe or accept in the teachings or the doctrine of the scriptures as it is written. And there's nothing but chaos and turmoil going on in their household. And I know quite a few of them. I'm not going to mention their names. But unfortunately, that's never been brought out. You see? So let me see. Let me go to Isaiah. Let's see. Actually, nah. I'm done with that. I'm gonna go back. Next time I'm gonna go to the Book of Kings. Another scripture that I've seen is Israel United in Christ, IUIC, and as well as all the rest of these other camps are using to push this lie. The good old famous 1 Kings 11:1, him dealing with Solomon. And it says that King Solomon loved many foreign women, in addition to the daughter of Pharaoh, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, the Sidonians, the Hittites, from the nations of which Yahweh has said to the children of Israel, do not come into marriage with them. And when you're dealing with the Sidonians and the Hittites, do not come into marriages with them. We can read about that in Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. When you're dealing with the Moabites and the Ammonites, which I'm going to get into that also too later on. You can read about that in Deuteronomy 23:3. But nonetheless, it says, for the nations of which Yahweh has said to the children of Israel, do not come into marriages with them, and they shall not come into marriages with you, for they will surely sway your hearts after their gods. And there goes the gods again. But unfortunately, they don't want to acknowledge that. So Solomon clung, it says, so Solomon clung to them for love. So that's another precept that they like to go into to further prove that we're not supposed to deal with the women of the nations. But as we read over here, just like I also pointed out in all these different precepts, the issue that the Creator had with us was the fact that what? That these women were pagan. These women were idolaters. These women were worshiping other idols and other gods. They were not worshiping the God of Israel. You see? And I'm going to jump down to verse 10. Is it verse 10? Let me see what it says. Verse 10. And it says, and commanded, I'm going to show you what Solomon's sin was. And commanded him about this matter. Do not go after who? After the gods of others. But he did not heed that which Yahweh had commanded him. So Solomon's sin was not the fact that he married and he was having sexual relationships with his concubines or Gentile woman, or the fact that they had different skin colors or different skin complexions. His sin was that he started worshiping and going after their idols. the Gentile woman that he was married to at that time did not forsake all of the sinful ways and traditional customs of their people. Thus, they seduced King Solomon into following and worshiping after their idols and their gods. You see? Because you have a lot of black men in Israel who are in this troop who are married to Gentile women. They've been married to the same Gentile woman that they've been with for God knows how many years. And they're still serving the Creator. You see? So I'm going to jump down to verse 33. And I'm going to show y'all, just like I read in verse 10, what they don't want to go into. Let's see. First Kings 11 and 33. And it says, this is because they have forsaken me and bowed down to who? To Ashtoreth, which is a false deity and a false god, the god of the Sidonians. To Chemosh, the god of who? Moab, another false deity and false idol and false god. And to Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon. And did they not walk in my ways to do what is proper in my eyes, my decrees and my statutes, as did David, his father. But wait a minute, did not David deal with the women of the other nations? He had concubines and Gentile women. Absolutely. But you notice that King David's concubines were never referred to as alien, strange, or foreign. Because the concubines or the non-Israelite woman that he had, they was in order. They were cleavers, keeping the Torah. They never seduced King David into following after other gods, other deities. King David sinned when he committed adultery. He didn't sin by dealing with Gentile women or the women of the other nation. You see? But I shall not take away any in my statute as did David his father. No, so but I shall not take away any of the kingdom from his own hand, for I shall set him as ruler all the days of his life, for the sake of my servant David, whom I choose, who observe my commandments and my decrees. Rather, I shall take away the kingdom from the hand of his son, and I shall give it to you, the 10 tribes, and to his son I shall give 1 tribe, for that there may remain a dominion for the house of David, and for all the days before me in Jerusalem, the city that I have chosen for myself to place my name there. But you I shall take, and you shall reign over all that you desire, and you will be king over Israel. And it shall be that if you obey all that I will command you, and walk in my ways, and you do that which is upright in my eyes, to observe my decrees and my commandments, as David my servant did, then I shall be with you, and I shall build an enduring dynasty for you. I'm going to stop right there. The point was already made around verse 33 and verse 34, showing you as to why Solomon, and as well as why our people, or some of our people at that particular time, were sinning. And the reason was the fact that they were worshiping deities and false idols. You see? So we started following after the customs and the ideologies of the pagan Gentiles that we dealt with. They had absolutely nothing to do with the color of their skin or their nations. Now I'm going to go to the book of Nehemiah. Let's see. Which brings me to Nehemiah. Chapter 13. Nehemiah 13 and 23. And it says, also in those days I observed the Jews who had married Ashdodite, Ammonite, Moabite wives, had their children spoken Ashdodian, and not known how to speak the language